Hello and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
I'm terrible, as always, because it's terrible and times are terrible. But this is our weekly break from all of that. And
That's
hopefully maybe an hour for our listeners to have a weekly break from how bad everything is. So anyway, you told me that you have a story.
Oh,
This is our podcast. Welcome to the podcast where we do fun jokes and japes, and we don't talk about how it's all bad. So
Yes.
go ahead with your fun jokes and japes.
Well, Sam and I were just talking off mic about this. Talking off mic. It sounds like we're like a production. Like Sam and I were in the studio and we were talking off mic.
Some shop talk.
How I was recently on a trip to meet my girlfriend's parents for the first time.
Yes, and meet the Fockers too.
Meet the Fockers too. Yes. I was Ben Stiller and Meet the Fockers too. Fucked up.
Right.
So because of that, much like the real Ben Stiller, I had to get shredded. But it's kind of like played off as a joke.
It's Ben Stiller shredded in that movie.
Yes, for everyone, go watch Meet the Parents. There is a scene where Ben Stiller. The joke is that he didn't bring a bathing suit because he didn't know there'd be like a pool party, and he has to wear a Speedo, and he walks out in this Speedo, and he is like completely zero body fat, like a gigantic buff boy, and everyone is making fun of him. Like, ha ha ha, you're wearing a Speedo, whatever. And not one person goes, Jesus. Like, not one person is like, you are ripped, dude. Like, where did that come from? Watch the movie and you will have that reaction. Ben Stiller, the rest of his career, I think is strong. A big shredded buff boy, which is how he got like the Zoolander thing. I say how he got Zoolander, but I'm pretty sure that he wrote Zoolander or at least like produced it.
Well, he's a strong guy in heavyweights. He does the pull-ups over the cliff.
Yeah, but it's just like a really jarring sequence because this isn't important. What is important is
you got big and strong and got in a Speedo.
I got big and strong and I got into a Speedo. And so we went to meet them in a cabin in North Carolina. On the way there, we started like coming across some like traffic jams. And Carrie, my girlfriend, she says, she's like, oh, my parents swear by Waze. So let's just use Waze.
Sure.
And I've never really used Waze before, but I guess the gist is it uses like user data to kind of piece together what is a good route to take.
It's like Bitcoin.
Yeah. That was the pitch. That was when they pitched it. They were like, it's like Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin, but Google Maps.
Yeah. So
two things I totally understand.
Yeah, we're here to disrupt. So we get off of the road. Like Waze is like, I got some for you guys. I'm gonna get off the road here. And
hey, hold my beer. I fucking got it.
So we get off the road, and then immediately, because we're in the end of Tennessee into North Carolina, we're in the Smoky Mountains, and we pull off the road, and we are straight up in the mountains. Like we're just zipping and whipping around. There's like cow farms and horse farms, and just we're like driving through people's like yards essentially, and we start going, and then the road is fine. It's just kind of like a country road, like you'll have like a turn every once in a while, but for the most part, you're just kind of going through neighborhood-ish things. And pretty soon, the road starts to get really like, not steep, that's not the word. It gets very angly. What's the word I'm looking for, Sam?
Curvy swervy.
It gets very curvy swervy, but it gets dangerously curvy swervy. And
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
It's getting manageably curvy swervy.
Sure.
And then as this is happening, Carrie,
you are describing my nightmare.
Yes. Carrie kind of looks out the window and kind of goes like, "Oh." I'm like, "What's up?" And she said, "I just saw something called a motorcycle resort." She was like, I'm like, a motorcycle resort? What's that? And she's like, I don't know. I didn't make the building, guy. Like, it's a motorcycle resort. And then after that happens, the road starts becoming unmanageably curvy swervy. Like it is, I am making 30, 40 degree turns like up this mountain and then down this mountain.
Okay.
And it is getting
hell, literal hell.
It's literal hell. It's like it reminded me of that sequence from Dragon Ball Z. Remember Dragon Ball Z? Where Goku has to run across that dragon to get into hell or heaven. I have no idea where that exists in the lineage of heaven.
The thing is, he does get killed by Frieza, and he has to run on the road to get.
I thought that happened after he got killed by Raditz.
Oh, maybe
because it happened so early in the show,
and it's like 30% of the first. I don't even know if it's a season, but the Frieza arc, 30% of it he's right. And I think at one point he falls off. Well, you know that he goes to hell at one point.
Yes, and you know he's in hell because he sees a demon with a shirt that says hell on it.
Well, he doesn't in the American version. Let's see. Dragon Ball Z Hell Censored. Censorship. Explain to me what this is. Tell me what it is.
What's in the box?
Come on. I can see it, but I don't know the... I'm going to have to cut this. God damn it. Tell me what this stands for. Fuck. Yes, okay. So, you know that he is in hell because he's not wearing a t-shirt that says hell. Right where the it looks like it says hell, but it actually says HFIL because in the American localization, this happens a lot with video games and television shows. In America, you can't have any like religious iconography, and in Japan, they're just chock full of it. And so it says hell because he's wearing a t-shirt that says hell. But then the American version says HFIL, which is the Home for Infinite Losers. And you can see right where they redraw under it. Because there's like his diaphragm is like a line.
Uh-huh.
And so they do a little line, and it cuts off the bottom of the letters, and then they change them so it says Home for Infinite Losers.
That is
so you're on the road. You're on the Goku.
But
road.
I'm on the Goku road to actual hell, and so as we're going, in the distance we see a tent, and the tent says killboy.com on it. Which is, that's kind of disconcerting.
Sure.
And
because you're a boy,
because I'm a boy, and getting killed is one of the things that I'm like so far very successful at, or not getting killed.
Main thing you'd want to avoid.
Yeah. So, or else I will be on that windy road to hell.
That's true.
So
or heaven. Who remembers?
Yeah. So we're going towards it, and Carrie kind of goes like, hey, like she's not talking to me. She's talking at them, and she's like putting her hand out in front of her face, and then she is just like saying, hey, stop. And then I zip away from them, and I was like, what was that? And she said, those guys were taking pictures of us. Like, what do you mean they were taking pictures of us? He pulled out like a camera with like a telescopic lens, and he was like shooting pictures of us like paparazzi. So, and then I was just
our belief that we're being chased by the CIA are 100% true.
Yes, and the CIA has a shell company called Killboy, and they advertise themselves a lot because
it's fully mask off. They're coming to kill this boy. Okay,
yes, yeah. So we're driving, and then we notice not one, not two, not three, but 4 more of these tents. All of which, like,
this is the worst thing I've ever heard.
All of which have that like, Killboy moniker on them, and every one of them, Carrie puts her hands out, and she is like, ba-da-da-da. And so
she puts her hand out because she is a secret agent, or because like,
I think because
fuck you.
I think it's like this. I think it is the latter. I think that she is like, because even recently we were talking where she was like, hey, I don't think it's legal for you to take pictures of people without their consent. And I was just like, I don't really know the legalities on that, to be honest, because people seemingly do it all the time.
You've got bigger problems to fry. The CIA has set up tents to take pictures of you.
Yeah, so this goes on for like 10 miles, which in me going 15 miles an hour up and down these hills, it translates like 40 minutes. Sure. And we finally pop out of this hell. And
yeah, my actual literal hell.
And
Driving down
so
a scary road and also getting lots of pictures taken of me by strangers. Yeah. Actual literal hell.
And so we come out and I start noticing all of this dragon iconography. Like all of this, like, what the fuck is we're the Dragon Hotel, we're the Dragon Mart. Like, this is a motorcycle shaped like a dragon. And I
like
am
the most well-armed man in America.
yes, quite like him. And I am shot back to a moment in time where my brother had just, yes, this is a Slumdog Millionaire type
where you
situation.
were at a Ku Klux Klan rally and the Grand Dragon was there.
Yeah, and he was like, I'll show you a cool road. And they went on to found ways. No, that's not true. No.
The parody.
The founder of Waze is probably a cool Swiss gentleman.
Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy.
So I'm shot back to a moment in time where my brother has just bought his motorcycle, and he is talking to my mom, and he's like, yeah, like me and the boys this summer, we're gonna go to the Tail of the Dragon. And my moms
famously love that stuff.
Moms famously love, yes, motorcycles and danger, like danger roads.
Love that. Their oldest children getting on motorcycles.
Because it's like, I don't remember. I think there's a Beach Boys song about like a street race where someone dies. Because, dying in street races was all the rage in the 1950s. You're racing a greaser and then they fall off the side of the road. Or you're in the movie Grease. And so I come back.
It's good vibration.
I come back to my own self. Yes, I come back to my own self, and I say, Carrie, we are on a road. We are on this thing called the Tail of the Dragon, and she's like, "What is that?" And then when we get to the cabin in the woods, I look up a picture of it, and I am going to send you a picture of it, not in the robot, but I'll just go ahead and text it to you.
Okay.
Do.
Zach, Now, I will say two things. Number one, I just need to reinforce. I know I've already said this, so I'll keep it short. This is, number one, the Goku Road from Dragon Ball Z.
It truly is. I think it is inspired by that.
Number two, my actual personal hell. This seems awful. It's beautiful. I mean, the foliage is beautiful, but you have sent me the windiest road that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, so for those, please look up the Tail of the Dragon. It's the best, but I don't think it's going to make the cover art for the episode because... Carrie and I come to the realization, it's like those guys that were taking pictures of us. That's like when you're on a roller coaster and you get a picture taken of you and then you go to a kiosk and buy the picture. Because I will say this. I know this road, I knew it in the moment, and this road is famous enough where you're like the kind of dude that takes a motorcycle to the Tail of the Dragon. Sure. It's going to be on your mantle, like next to a picture of like your first kid. Like it's gonna be like, yeah, this is when I went on the Tail of the Dragon.
Now, to be fair, you have also sent me a photo of the Nissan Versa.
Yep.
And I'll say it does look very cool.
I mean, it is the coolest picture of my car that is in existence. It looks like a picture that would be for the advertising for the car.
Sure. Yes, it does. Or it is parked and stopped. It's unclear.
No, you can. If you look at it, it's like you can see. It's almost as if it like like back in the early 2000s when motion blur was just invented to show speed. It looks like it has motion blur all over it. Like I am scooting in this car.
Yeah, you are. But it looks like you're just zipping along. You are flying. And now,
and I'm like 4-wheel going 15 miles an hour.
I believe this is Carrie giving the "fuck you, get out of my face" hand out the window.
Yes, it is her
which
giving
is a cool move.
Yeah, like the I'm a celebrity and I like hate paparazzi sort of vibe.
Yeah. Well, that is
So and the rest of the weekend was fine, but no, I did. No
spooky ghosts.
I did survive the Tail of the Dragon, so like I wouldn't consider myself like a stunt driver. I consider myself more of like a stunt artist,
I'm excited for you to get a tattoo of the Tail of the Dragon or a tattoo of that picture.
I'm gonna get
a
Ben Affleck style like tattoo, Tail of the Dragon, but it just takes up my whole back.
Does Ben Affleck have a back tattoo?
Go ahead and look up Ben Affleck back tattoo really quick, and then remember that Ben Affleck has several $1 million.
Yeah. That's a big old tattoo, Ben. Oh, Ben.
It is.
Ben, that's a big old tattoo of a hippogriff.
Or something, yeah, like a phoenix, or I don't know.
It's a hippogriff and then some sort of blood vessel. Wow, Ben.
Benny.
Oh, Ben.
Benny.
You know, I had a
buddy.
friend who I like very much, but and I have to say his name because it's part of the story. Well, actually, no, I don't. So I had a friend in high school. He'll know who he is, and this isn't a disparaging story, but he was a friend of mine in high school, and really kind of a I would say like a not quite a soft-spoken kid, but not like a you know, fills up the room kind of guy. Like, you know, nice, funny, but didn't make a big show of himself. Not an asshole. A nice person is what I'm saying. But you know, not sheepish, but like just kind of kept to himself, funny guy, whatever, blah blah blah. I think I just said a bunch of contradictory things, but what I'm trying to say is
he's well-rounded.
He's well-rounded and well-adjusted guy. So he comes back from summer break of sophomore year of high school. And he says, "Hey man, I got a tattoo." And I was like, "Cool. Like that's a cool thing to do. What'd you get?" And he's like, "Oh, I got my last name, which was 6 letters long." And he's like, "I got my last name tattooed on my back." And he takes his shirt off and he has his entire shoulders and back, like from shoulder to shoulder in
from
Gothic
sea to
letters.
shining sea.
From sea to shining sea, with I think a big cross in the middle, and it has his last name all the way across the back, and it is one of the single most shocking moments of my entire like I could not have I mean, it was one of those things where my entire conception of this person flipped on a dime. Like, because again, he's not like a quiet, but he was just like this cool, regular, just hanging out guy. Never in a million years, but he's just like, "Yeah, I got a tattoo of my last name because I just really care about my family. So I have giant, you know, 400 font Gothic letters."
It's 400 fonts, so like the 6th letter is actually on a different indentation, like it's on a different line.
Yeah, he didn't fix the spacing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's also 600 points down. Anyway, it was huge. It was this huge. It's probably, of the people I know, the biggest tattoo I've ever seen. I think that's true. If I think of everyone I know and the tattoos they have, it is the biggest tattoo of anyone I know, and it was just a wild moment of like, you did, and it wasn't like you what a mistake, I can't believe you did that to yourself, but it was just like, you did, what did you do? What,
I really
over
feel,
summer break, that's what you did?
Yeah. I really feel
cool. I mean,
that
cool
my
tattoo.
brother would have been one of those guys, but he was saved at the last minute. I don't know by whom, but it was because he has this one tattoo that is like gargantuan, and it takes up his entire rib cage. And
gosh.
Yeah, it's the biggest tattoo.
From side to side?
It's the biggest tattoo I've ever seen. I know that he was just, had our last name not been Johnson and been a little cooler,
Sure.
like I feel like he would have gotten it if it was like Michael, like Macklebees, you know, like
McElroy. You think McElroy is the coolest?
no,
name?
like it's like I was thinking
the
of
famous McElroy brother.
Conor
It's like
McGregor. Like Conor McGregor seems like the
got
kind of
it.
cat that would, like, someone that has like a Mick and then the
Sure.
rest of their name is like, it's like,
Oh shit!
you come from like, I have a proud heritage, I have a proud Irish heritage, or something, some bullshit like that, you know?
Right, totally.
No, not saying you can have a proud Irish heritage or whatever. But it is
I'm Irish and I'm deeply ashamed of it. So don't worry
it is
about
to my benefit that my last name is Johnson, because like,
Sure.
that's just like getting a vanilla ice cream tattoo on over the course of your entire back.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want to do a script, doctor?
Ooh, yes.
Is anyone a doctor?
All right, now I think I'm gonna cut down maybe the intro.
Script
For-
doctor.
Script Doctor. That's a good one. Maybe I'll just do that. Some of the
No,
intros are a little long. You gave me a great intro for Put It On Our Tab, which is our
yeah.
second segment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the exact length that I want all of the intros to become. But they'll hear that later in the episode.
Not this episode.
Oh, you're right. Not this episode. A later episode.
Later episode. So guys,
forgot.
get ready for it later.
Well, we're about halfway through, so this is perfect. Now I am going to do something different. I'm going to read to you one of the paragraphs from the premise.
And not give me the name of the show.
And then I'm going to give you the name of the show. I just wanna,
good,
I just
good,
wanna,
good, good, good.
I want to get your gut on the show
Okay.
before I explain what the show is. Okay. So this is characters. The show revolves around the adventures of a family consisting of the father, Larry, a bumbling, I gotta leave some words out. He's bumbling but well-intentioned. Kate, a stay-at-home mother who's a member of a special women's group. Sierra, their teenage daughter,
Special women's group.
is constantly annoyed by the family. Hunter, their awkward young son, who is a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. Sarmuti, don't look these people up. I
What?
can hear you.
No,
Don't-
I'm not looking anything up
Just
because I
wait.
can't. You think I'm gonna spell Sarmuti correctly?
Sarmuti, Kate's father, which would be the father-in-law, because I mean Larry is the main character. Sarmuti, Kate's father, and Sierra and Hunter's grandfather. I think we kind of understood that. Who has a dislike for Larry, and Snack, Larry's friend.
Okay.
Give me now. I'm not gonna make you sit here and do this forever. But give me an idea of what you think the hook is for this show.
Okay. So the first few names were normal. Then there was Sarmuti. There's someone that's really. I don't. The first person name was Larry. I remember that because I was thinking it's like
Larry is our main character.
Larry
He's
the
bumbling, but
cucumber.
he's well-intentioned.
It's well intentioned.
Hunter is really into Lord of the Rings.
And the mom belongs to a special women's group.
Special women's group. I do not have more details about the special women's group.
You don't personally have more details about that, or you
No,
are you're not giving them to me?
I have not yet surmised what that special women's
Oh, okay. So that I should be not focused on that.
I would not, because I cannot help you with it.
Okay. I'm gonna guess it is a show. I'm gonna guess it's like the movie Bright, starring Will Smith. And it's like people living with like animals. It's gonna like animals. Oh my gosh, people living in like a modern day Tolkien times.
Oh, Bright, of course. I remember Bright. We did an episode and threw it away about Bright. You should have gone with your first guest, Animals, because the show revolves around the adventures of a family of white lions who are the stars of the Siegfried and Roy show.
Oh,
This is, of course, Father of the Pride, the 2004 to 2005 animated
What?
sitcom that NBC unjustly cut short after one season in 2003. Please look up Father of the Pride. I have so many little gems to give to you. Let me just walk you through this wonderful show.
Okay, this animation
don't wanna
first
spoil
off
this.
is hilarious. I'm
I
gonna very quickly look up when it happened.
When it happened.
When it happened, the reason why we don't talk about the reason why we don't talk about Siegfried and Roy anymore.
Oh, it would be at the end of the season.
Are you what?
So are you talking about when Roy got horribly maimed by one of his tigers?
Yes.
Transmission and production was also delayed by the real-life onstage injury of Roy Horn in October 2003.
Oh my gosh, because
So actually, no, it came out after. It came
out because it was in
after.
2003, and then the show came out in 2004, 2005. Man, that is.
Yes, if you
Oof.
don't know, Roy got bit by his tiger, real bad. Turns out they were not as bumbling and well-intentioned as we thought. Actually, they were completely in the right, because it's like animal abuse.
Yeah.
Anyway, also it was protested by the Parents Television Council. It is an adult animated show, in just the clips I've seen, let me describe to you some of the characters. Now, let me just walk you through this. Please don't get on the wiki because there's one little gem that I need
Okay,
you to know.
I'm off.
Okay. I'm just gonna run you through some of the supporting
audience.
characters.
You guys get off here.
Well, but there's a special treat just made for you.
A special
And
boy.
There's a special treat for a special boy. There's Roger. He's an orangutan.
Okay.
That's fine. Chutney is an Asian elephant. That sucks. In one episode, it is revealed that he, rather than Lucy Vauden, is Lucy from Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. This is the Asian elephant Chutney. Though people do not know the truth because McCartney hogs all the credit. So Chutney the elephant
just
is
some
Lucy.
very necessary world building happening there.
Yeah. Well, you're going to see a lot of that where there are weird crossovers to the real world. There's Vincent, who is a flamingo and has a sexual interest in sombreros and a New Yorker's accent.
That is some if that is some adult comedy bullshit. That it's just like someone came up with in a writer's room and just never had a better idea.
Also, Nelson, nicknamed Bong Bong, is a giant panda.
Nice.
And he is black and white and depressed all over. There is a character named Hilarious, who is a snail comedian, and Fu Lin, who is also a giant panda. There are the Snout Brothers. They are, and this is reading straight from the wiki, a pair of steroid-abusing, exercise enthusiast warthogs.
There's a lot of characters in this show.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of
in
characters in this show.
There's several characters that are leopards and panthers, and they're poker buddies of the old tiger. I'm sorry. Lily, who is also Fulene, is played by Lisa Kudrow. Lily is played by Jane Lynch. She's the leader of a women's empowerment group. That must have been the special group. Larry, the main character, is played by John Goodman. So
this also has some names in it.
Cheryl Hines plays Kate.
Okay.
Let's see. Anyway, but those aren't those.
Damn, Siegfried and Roy really pulling in the talent for this tragically cut short show.
I know. David Spade does play Tommy. He's a wisecracking coyote. Nothing really interesting there. Now, this one you'll see, it is played by Danny DeVito. Boy, this is a wild show. It is played by Danny DeVito. It's Emerson, and he is an activist lobster. In the episode, I believe this is the episode, and the revolution continues, in which the left-wing activist lobster, Emerson, played by Danny DeVito, I don't know, is kind of rude to the wife, and so, or maybe he's rude to the dad, the grandpa, and so the mom throws him in a gutter. But there's a left-wing activist lobster.
Uh-huh.
There's an antelope played by John DiMaggio named Tom. He's an alcoholic and verbally abusive adulterer. Another antelope. Pauly Shore does play Justin, the Jewish
Nice.
lion.
Good.
Justin is a Jewish adolescent lion with a mop top haircut. Now, there's some lesbian gophers. Oh, his best friend Snack is a gopher. I don't know. Got it. Now I have come to the end, and there are two special guests.
Okay.
I know that I have brought you on a journey of Father of the Pride, a show that has so much star power, I cannot believe it failed. It is obviously so good and well thought out, and boy, it looks great. I'm going to give you two in a row.
Okay.
And I need you to buckle up.
All right.
Eddie Murphy does play Donkey from the Shrek franchise. Eddie Murphy does play Donkey from the Shrek franchise, and he does show up to promote Shrek the Third.
What?
So Eddie Murphy does play. I don't know how. Eddie Murphy plays Donkey from the Shrek franchise in the show Father of the Pride.
Are you sure? Okay, hold on. Time out. Does he show up to promote Shrek 2?
he shows up to promote
Shrek,
Shrek 3,
the-
which he does say comes out in 2006. I've seen the clip. He says, and remember, kids, he looks at the Larry and is like, I can't fucking help you, dude. And then he looks at the camera and he's like, remember, Shrek 3, not the title of the film. Shrek 3 comes out in 2006, which of course it came out in 2007. He's trying to get Larry tries to get him to go to Hunter's school. I don't know. I think he is from he's from the Shrek series. Like, people know him from Shrek.
We are like, because this is a script doctor.
Yes.
Or this honestly might be a put it on my tab as well. This could be both of them. We are inching dangerously close to one of our new rules in the podcast, which is
Yes,
no cinematic universes.
Yes.
And the instant you said that Shrek, the donkey from the movie Shrek, is in it, I immediately was like, okay, I can't wait to do a cinematic universe.
Okay. I know, and I think we just need to get that out. I'm glad you brought that up. There are no cinematic universes. What we do to fix the show cannot be a cinematic universe. The next character, whose character name is Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer is a stand-up comedian and actor who Siegfried and Roy take Larry to see, Larry the Tiger, in a revised pilot. Siegfried and Roy think that Grammer is a real psychologist, so Roy explains his lifelong problems and hard relationships with his father. Kelsey Grammer plays Kelsey Grammer, the character Kelsey Grammer, who is a comedian, and they think he is real Frasier. And that does happen in the show Father of the Bride.
How many episodes of this? There's 15 episodes, 2 unaired, 1 unfinished. There's like 12 episodes. I am watching this immediately.
I have to see Kelsey Grammer, real ass man. Anyway, yes.
Especially in this animation style.
It's so ugly. We're on the side of the show. Now, episode 9 is called Donkey. So it does seem that the entire episode is about Donkey from the Shrek show.
Oh, this is...
But there's not an episode called Kelsey Grammer, which is confusing.
There's probably an episode called, like, I Hear the Blues A-Callin', or Scooby-Dee-Ba-Da-Bow.
Well, it says it's in a revised pilot. Now, of course, I think we should revise the pilot, probably. That's probably a good place to start. But in a revised... Siegfried and Roy take Larry to see in a revised pilot. Are they doing a revised pilot of Frasier? It's impossible to know. It's impossible to say. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. It's impossible to know. Anyway, how do the guys at NBC, Jeffrey Katzenberg, the man, the myth, the legend, who did make this whole show with 200 other animators over 2 years, yarf.
Oh no.
I'm sure they worked very hard and they're incredibly talented, and obviously I'm on their side for this, but that's 2 years of your life. Anyway, they called me, all 205 people that I've mentioned, right? Yeah, there's 3 people at NBC. All 3 of them, they got Jeffrey on the line, and then these 200 animators. So 204 people called me on a Zoom call, and they said, fix this show, bring it back. You and Zach do your dark magic. There's 2 episodes that were unaired and 1 that was unfinished. Anyway, how do we bring back Father of the Pride? I got it immediately. I got it.
Okay, so if you, I am unfortunately, I took a dark path because, you know, you told me not to go to the Wikipedia, but you didn't say to not go to the Wikifur, which is a Wikipedia-based community for furry things and furry inspirations. So I'm kind of on that. That's kind of my train right now.
Now, when I typed in Wikifur, it did say deaths as the next option. I have to look up Wikifur deaths.
I'm just kind of on like a Wikifur sort of thing right now, and I will tell you this: I am not going to kink shame anybody, but this is horrifying.
It's a whole section about all of the animal actors that have died so far. Okay. Let's go back to Wikifur.
Let's mix on over here. So
I'm on Wikifur now, and is there a Father of the Pride
section? Yes. But it's basically I learned it is like a copy and paste sort of thing from the actual Wikipedia. And so I went quickly off of that and I found all of the fur cons and I'm trying to find one in my area.
What? This is not, but that's personal reading for later.
Yeah. Okay, good. I did find one in Louisville, so I'll be checking that out later.
Great. Here's my suggestion.
Yes.
It's called Father of the Pride, but as far as I can tell, because I haven't done much research, there doesn't seem to be an episode. I'm saying episode 16, Father of the Pride, Father of the Bride. Why is it called Father of the Pride? The girl's not getting married. Or the boy. No, wait, it'd have to be the girl. Anyway, no one's getting married. So how about we reboot 10 years later. The dad, or the grandpa, unfortunately, he is dead now. He's dead. Maybe he's gone. Siegfried and Roy, they broke up because they're like, you fucking bit me, right? This is after the
incident. So yeah, this is the aftermath. Because like the people watching this show are living in a world post, Siegfried and Roy getting bit by tigers.
To be fair, so were the people who watched season 1.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the people that watched season 1, right. I imagine they were queuing in like, all right, let's see what this is about, huh? Like
this one's kind of weird, huh?
And honestly, I don't want to be like the kind of person that is a conspiracy theorist, but pretty convenient timing to come out with the show.
The tigers were upset by their portrayal, so they bit Roy.
I'm saying that for Siegfried and Roy's standpoint, it's like getting a TV deal and all of a sudden getting bit by a tiger. A lot of eyeballs.
I guess that's true. Apparently, it was an incredibly well-funded marketing campaign, despite being a terrible show.
It was made by the same people that made both Shrek and Madagascar, which that totally tracks. Because I imagine that people, I think what I'm guesstimating is that people that were working on Madagascar that were getting punished were being sent to work on this show.
Sure. Yeah. This was the bad boy group.
Yeah, yes.
You've been a bad boy. You have
because like having a sexual relationship with Sombrero, like these guys are they're different. They do things a little differently here. We're kind of the bad boys.
Which is why we have the alcoholic flamingo or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you read.
Who fucking cares? All of that, every single one of here's the thing, reading through the character list, everyone was crazier than the last.
Which honestly is good for a kooky show.
So Siegfried and Roy are gone.
Yeah.
They send them to a zoo, right? And now they're all living in a zoo for season 2. And they're like, oh, we got some new tigers in the mix. After dark, they all jump over the fences and they're just hanging out and they're just like being cool or whatever. Or we just have a bunch of excuses for people not to be in the park so they can hang out during the day because nobody wants to watch a show where it's all at night.
Mm-hmm.
It's my opinion, apparently, right now. So we get some new tigers in the mix. Old shitty grandpa, he's dead. Now the dad, Larry, he's the grandpa. And the first episode is his daughter getting married, father of the bride, and we've got like a Fuller House situation.
Okay.
I'm saying
so we're not exactly fixing we're not necessarily fixing the show, but we are doing a Fuller House style reboot of it.
The show is perfect.
The
problem was Siegfried and Roy. The problem was the tiger did bite Roy. And so we just need to cut Siegfried and Roy out, and now we do a Fuller House, Father of the Pride, season 2, Mother of the Bride. No, that's nothing. I don't know. Maybe we keep the same title because there's a lot of Father of the Pride heads.
Exactly, yeah, and you don't want to because the show. They didn't change like the titles of shows and they bring it back. They
did for a lot.
Veronica
of the
Mars was still Veronica Mars or whatever the hell happened with that.
The Weber show was always I guess the Weber show wasn't, but anyway, yes.
Okay, so we're doing a. I like the energy, but who are we bringing back? Everybody? Are we?
Good point. I want Danny DeVito because I love him, but do we keep him as the activist lobster who got thrown in a drain? Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we bring him back. Okay, this isn't a verse, but maybe we bring him back as a pig, a la Hercules.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
that
So
anything?
here's the thing about what you just said. I love it. I did not hear it
Great.
because I was too busy finding an autographed picture of the Father of the Pride cast, and I can
Uh-oh.
have it right now for $59.
Uh-oh, that sounds like that sounds like you should do that then.
And then I will
I don't
just
want to
have
get
it.
in a bidding war with you personally on eBay, but one of us is gonna own the signed photograph of Father of the Pride. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like I can't see. I don't know who these characters are,
David
but
Spade was Tommy.
the most important one is that Carl Reiner is on it, which I think is pretty great because it's like, there's not a lot more of those going around. But just
It's
to have
basically like getting now is Kelsey Grammer who played Kelsey
no,
Grammer.
I haven't even seen a picture of Kelsey Grammer as Kelsey Grammer, which obviously Kelsey Grammer is coming back as Kelsey Grammer.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's the new
what
zookeeper.
else is he doing?
Right. He loves animals, according to Seinfeld, which I've seen. Not Seinfeld, not the name of the show. Sorry, I am now looking up Father of the Pride, Kelsey Grammer.
Me too.
I must see this photograph. Oh,
Holy
no.
shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Something very horrible has
Kelsey,
happened.
no.
Kelsey.
What did they do to you?
what
Kelsey
did
Grammer?
they do to my boy? What did they do with my boy?
I don't know if this show needs to be saved. I don't know. Oh, no. Kelsey Grammer.
Honestly, you know
Cool.
what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say
Close
like
tab.
this show is perfect.
The show is perfect. We
I don't know-
need to
I don't know
save
if-
it.
I don't know
just
if
think
you
we need to cut
see-
Siegfried and Roy.
I don't know if you see to the right of it, but it's Kelsey Grammer's cat, and he's wearing an
Oh, I
ascot
have
with
seen
glasses. This show, this is like a Firefly level
Holy
of
shit.
like this show being cut off is disrespectful. Like this show should never have gone anywhere, and it should only be coming back. This one needs, I'll tell you how to fix it. Give it a feature length. That's how you fix it. Do the
Give it
Madagascar.
6 seasons in a movie. That's how you
Do
fix it.
the Madagascar treatment, but on Father of the Pride. That is
God.
that is the only like give.
Okay.
I'm just starting a. How do you start a change.org?
How do you
How do you start a change.org? Bring back Father of the Pride
If
just
there's
for
one thing that
one,
matters
just
right
for
now-
one feature length movie.
Oh, no.
Listen,
I'm saying 6
freaking
seasons in a
Firefly got it
movie.
with Serenity. That's all I know. I mean, that's all I care about.
Oh my gosh, I am gonna watch.
Do
every
not
episode of this.
change the animation one step. Keep it
Oh, see, I
all
was
like
gonna say
this.
get those Rick and Morty fellas on it. They're great. Kids
No.
love them.
Yeah, kids love them. Kind of bring that. I maybe bring that sort of style of comedy, but keep this animation.
You're saying
I want this whack ass Kelsey Grammer. This
Same
this
computers.
smooth face Kelsey Grammer.
But you need to bring people with the equal amount of experience as these people when they made this show the first time.
Yes.
I don't want to shit on the people who made the show because I'm sure it was just the technology at the time. But I want some sort of equivalent where like
I want them to
has
have.
look
I
like
want
this.
them to have that same technology. Like I want them to
Yeah,
dig
the same
out these
computers.
computers, this same software, and then just make it again or make a feature
Yes.
length out of it.
Yes.
All right.
And then we get rid of Siegfried and Roy. It's called Father of the Pride, Father of the Bride. And it's about the wedding. And I don't know, you do some, you do the shit. You do the,
Yeah.
she's getting married. And it's just like, ooh, but this guy, I'm not really sure. Ooh,
Yeah,
just do that. Yeah, whatever.
But
Fucking
honestly,
right, so.
whatever. It's just an excuse to get
Yeah.
everyone together.
Kelsey Grammer will officiate, obviously. He'll officiate the wedding. Perfect. Okay, great.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad I'll send this off to my friends at NBC. Thank
Okay.
you.
How's the patient, doctor? He's gonna make it.
Hey Sam,
Yeah, what's up?
do you wanna maybe step into my office over here?
Look, I didn't put all of the animals in the cafeteria.
Okay.
If there's some sort of immunity, I think I
Mhm.
could figure out who.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I have a book I have this library, this kind of like bookshelf sort of thing that takes up the whole
gonna
wall.
Hit me with a book.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna go. Actually, if you want to stand over here and I think that if you stand right next to me while I grab
It was
this
Cody.
book,
It was Cody. He did it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But come over here
Okay.
and
Okay.
and I'm gonna grab this book and oh shit! It's a Scooby-Doo type situation where we spin around, and this is my. This is no. This is just welcome to my lounge. This is where I have my little fireplace here. I have my typewriter, and but more importantly, I have.
Zach, are you trying to seduce me?
No. I'm just saying that unlike the rest of the library, unlike the rest of the library back here, I only have one book in my study, and that is The Secret Man.
Oh shit!
Welcome,
it's the secret bookshelf, secret man.
Welcome to Zach's Secret Book Club.
Did I already make a theme song for this?
I don't think so because we just did it. I don't think
Okay.
we didn't even have a secret anything.
We'll see if we'll see if it happens. We'll see how this week goes. Oh, actually, I'm gone for a week, so never mind.
No, never mind.
We'll see what happens. Go ahead.
So, when last we left our hero Frank Dux, he
Of course.
had been assigned a super secret good kisser big boy job at the FBI at the CIA, but
While in a urinal.
yes, but with one catch, and that is that the head of the CIA, Bill Casey, Frank only reports to him, and because Frank is such a cool CIA operative bad boy, that no one else gets to know about him except for Bill Casey.
Right.
And we find our heroes. Well, we find, I guess, our one hero and our, I think it's going to end up being one of those things where everyone could be a villain, like double crossing and all that shit.
And if I remember, okay, so there's Fish, who is the evil guy who's like Daffy Duck or whatever, and he's like bang, and has
yeah.
And the little scroll comes out. But then, and then there's the Suit, who you think is secretly Fish.
I currently, yes. My hypothesis is that Fish is the Suit because of just the way this book it continues to disrespect people that actually, do their jobs and aren't just like cool secret bad boys.
Sure. Also, yeah, if any of our listeners for some reason listen to our show out of order, which don't, go back to whatever episode has the goofy looking man with all the telescopes on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 51, and you'll get chapter 1 of The Secret Man or section 1 of The Secret Man. But yeah. So Frank Dux.
So we meet
strong, good kissing bad boy.
So we meet Frank Dux, and he is going on assignment, and he has to have a meeting on a park bench. And who's sitting on the park bench? Bill Casey, the head of the CIA. And he is sitting on a park bench, and both of them are facing the same way, like how happens in movies, even though Bill Casey has an office.
Has a whole office, and people know he works for the CIA.
Yes, and so there's, according to him, there is no one around except for a guy walking his dog, and he maybe suspects that this is someone, but he is quickly thinking like, no, I'm reading too much into it. So I was like, why even put the whole dog walking thing in there?
Why bring it up? If you're like, this is stupid and I'm not worried about it.
So, so they're both sitting on this park bench, and Bill Casey gives him the job. And the job is hold on, I have got to find this. I gotta find the actual, because I refuse to underline anything in this book.
That's fine. I'm on Spy Kids, the CIA's kids page.
Okay, got it. So Bill Casey offers him a job, and he has an amazing quote, which is, "Oh, you'll face all the regular challenges of your glamorous spies, risking torture or imprisonment in the same country, or the usual dangers of playing with weapons and blowing your own ass off. But you'll run into additional risk of being accidentally taken out by your own side, and no one will ever publicly own you. You beginning to get the idea, son?" And so
wait, Bill Casey, what? Wait a minute. Bill Casey sits down opposite of him.
He said like they're both sitting in the same direction. Like how imagine they're about to slide a manila folder to the other person.
It's like if you saw two people sitting on like the two ends of a park bench, I wouldn't assume like those are strangers who aren't talking.
Yes,
what does that help?
Because they're both talking.
Right, like if it was two benches that were facing the opposite directions and you were back to back, like you could probably get away with it. But like if you're sitting, okay. So wait, so he full ass works for the CIA.
He's the head of the CIA. Frank Dux.
I know.
Frank Dux does not work for the CIA.
Frank Dux is like a guy.
He is a guy who is a badass martial artist.
Good kisser. I got that, but he doesn't.
Yes.
Why is he giving him this exposition? Surely he already knows all of this.
Knows all of what?
That hey, these are dangerous missions.
Yeah, he's giving him yeah, exactly. But I think this is just to continuously reiterate to the audience that
right, because it's
Frank does not work for the CIA. He does not work for the FBI. He doesn't work for anybody. He works for himself.
No one will claim him.
No one will claim him. And one of my favorites, there's another corner that says, "You're my secret weapon, son. Anyone gets out of line, you put him in the penalty box."
It's not fucking Iron Man.
Which this also continues to support my theory that the suit is the bad guy in the end, because it's making it like to where it's like, you know, like, Frank, you son of a bitch, you're the only guy out here I can trust because you don't trust anybody like me. I also don't trust anybody. And because we both don't trust people, that means I can trust you. Like some kind of bullshit like that.
Dumb guy logic. Right. Totally.
And so,
okay, so Bill gives him a very weird monologue about how. Okay, got it. All right, so yeah, what's the mission?
And so, well, actually, the funny thing about that is there is no mission. He just brings him to this park bench just to kind of say these things to him. Also, he says one more line, which is
in office.
This is a direct quote from the head of the CIA, Bill Casey.
Okay,
I want you to be one badass who don't take no shit from any motherfucker. And that's it.
You've made such a great point in the very beginning, and again, I want this to be funny, so I need to because Frank Dux does make me so reflexively mad, but he does have an office.
Yes,
and
he has an office.
People know who he is, so he's not like yes, of course, Bill Casey is like a CIA agent because he's head of CIA, but he's not like. 007,
okay, well, hold on.
People know who he is.
So his
office is more secret than that park bench.
Yes, so they keep meeting, and guess what? Yet again, do what you do best, son. Except when it comes to me, of course. I demand absolute loyalty. I need a ghost, someone who's not subject to reports, red tape, even laws. With some jobs, a standard CIA operative would be open to political suicide. I'm going to ask you to do some things that will surprise you and other things that will scare the hell out of you. Just like, yeah, we get it. Like,
what's the mission?
Like, yeah, but he actually doesn't even say the mission. Like, he leaves the park bench and he just brought him there, I guess, just to like friggin' be cool with him. And then the book. So I'll bring this up because, and also
not a meeting that needs to be secret.
Not a meeting that needs to be secret. No.
That was
like he just brought him in his office and was just like, wow.
So you texted him. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but it would have just been a text of like various affirmations, just like, you think you're a cool guy because you are. You're
weird,
the coolest.
Intimidating compliments.
You're like, I'm gonna do one badass motherfucker. You understand that? And that's you, Frank.
You're so cool.
Anyway, get out of here. Get out of here, Frank.
You're so cool, Frank. Okay.
So then the book goes, because this book is just time jumping all around like Six Underground. And we go to when he was training in the army, and then the book takes a turn of just okay. So the book honestly has a really cool way of going against all the naysayers by the people that are looking for the facts, because and I'll get into that in just a moment. But Frank Dux claims that he went to the army training and how much he hated it, and the reason why he hated it, and they really like for the next several pages they really put this India. He experienced a lot of anti-Semitism in the boot camp. And so like the next several pages are about how racist everyone was to him, which kind of honestly comes out of nowhere. And it's a huge tone shift.
Okay.
And because he doesn't and it doesn't reference like it's like 29 pages in and like his Jewish heritage is not brought up or anything, but then like it hits you really hard with it. Like it's an exposition dump of just like how like this is the reason why he has this is the reason why he doesn't like side with anybody. His own honor is his own thing because like he can't trust anybody. And I'm going to make a point to this is a new rule that I've established. I'm going to read every single thing the previous owner of this book highlighted because I think that is the funniest thing that could have ever possibly happened. Is someone, because not everything is highlighted. Very few things are highlighted. Only once every like 10 to 12 pages is something highlighted.
But what they highlight
is perfect. What they highlighted, anyone with a moral code is vulnerable because one's reactions are consistent with that code. That's it.
Great.
That was the last. That was his big takeaway from having like received like racism.
And that's why I knew I needed to go train with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, well, so then
he doesn't know that.
No.
Well, he doesn't go train with Ra's al Ghul.
Timeless man. That will be on the next Secret Book Club.
Jesus Christ.
But next, and this is I'm going to skip around because like in chapter 6, he also goes more into his Jewish heritage, and he talks about how his father was a door salesman. He would go and he would sell doors door to door. That's an actual line from the book. It says he would sell doors door to door. And I had to read it.
They probably already have one.
Yeah, exactly. I had to read it over and over again. And it was like, my father never once complained about anything. But my father, like me, was also a super secret spy. And my granddad, like me, was also a super secret spy. So I'm the third generation of spies. But my father...
I don't think the time makes sense. How old is he? When does this book come out?
This book comes out in 1995, and he's probably in his like 30, like mid to late 30s.
So he's born in the 60s, which would mean his dad would be born in the 30s.
Yeah, so I guess his dad was in... The thing I think is like his dad was in World War II, and his granddad was also in World War II. That's kind of hard to follow.
So his granddad's military service would be before the what's the precursor?
Maybe it was in World War One.
OSS. Yeah, but there wasn't an it's not the OSS. Whatever. The thing in World War II that was before the CIA that turned into the CIA.
But no, I think he was just like a super secret soldier. Like much like him, it was like we need some spies, and we don't even have a concept for that yet. So that's in chapter 6. But to conclude, we're going to go through chapter 5, which, because like chapter 6 is basically a continuation of the themes that found at the end of chapter 4 of his, like how he's inspired by his Jewish heritage and how that makes him like, because it's his father and granddad both fought in the war, and they both experienced anti-Semitism. And but they were still like super kick-ass soldiers. That chapter rather is called Origins, which I think is funny. And it's all about
it's the OSS. It's the Office of Strategic Services.
Yeah, they don't mention that. And also, I don't think his dad and his granddad were super secret spies. But here we are.
Obviously, yeah.
But I think his dad might have just been a door salesman, door to door.
I just want to point out that it was created in 1942 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and probably not his grandfather.
Honestly,
anyway.
you can't really know that. He probably met Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So in chapter 5, the book skips forward yet again, and it gets to 1993, where they go to a Specs War Specialist Conference in San Diego, and they're just basically looking at all of the cool shit, all like the spy stuff. And at one point, so we go to this like expo, and there's like it's an expo where there's
SpyCon.
SpyCon, where they're showing up a bunch of spy shit, as well as like all of the spies are getting together to like have a reunion. Like they're just all going to looking at all the cool new spy stuff / going to possibly conferences about how to be a better spy. It's very confusing.
Don't go to a conference about being a spy. That's step 1. Don't go to this shit.
And this chapter rather is so perfect because I think it encapsulates just the themes of the book in its entirety, which is all the book there. This chapter follows him walking through this conference and a bunch of spies calling him by different names because he doesn't give his name out. He only gives his name out to a few select people. And so all of them are calling them code names like Pirate and Joshua and other shit like that. And
Joshua's just a name though.
Yeah, but it's like a code name, which is also the code name given to him by Bill Casey. So remember that for later.
But Bill Casey knows his real name.
Yeah, but he gives him a code name.
So he doesn't tell Bill Casey, head of CIA, his real name?
No, he tells him his real name, but Bill Casey gives him a code name, which is Joshua.
Bill Casey tells him. Got it.
Yes. So this whole chapter is him wandering around the convention, and different spies are just basically talking about how cool he is.
Sure, of course.
Where he's like, there's all of these moments where he talks about like different spies where it's like, man, the last time I saw you was Quantico. And it's like, another spy's like, you were in Quantico? And it's like, yeah, but I barely got out of there alive. Ha 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 ha. Like I was in this super secret thing. And then this is the first mention of the Kumite, which he talks about from Bloodsport, which I think we'll get into later. So yeah, basically this whole chapter is just like him meeting with a bunch of people and all of them just talking about how cool he is. And my favorite part of this is all these spies are around him, and one of them that only knows him as Pirate. He calls him Pirate. And Keith joined us, shaking his head in amazement. You worked with Frank too? Frank, Bucky said. I didn't know your name. Keith gestured at me. Yeah, Frank. Frank Dux, this sorry son of a bitch. Bucky's mouth almost hit the floor. You're Frank Dux? The Frank Dux? The one Jean-Claude Van Damme tried to impersonate in Bloodsport? Well, I'll be damned.
Impersonate.
The conference was getting more entertaining by the minute. I've never seen Bucky at a loss for words before. Here he was, dumbstruck and shaking his head in amazement. So
now why you say try to impersonate, is that what he means by acting in a movie about you, the person?
Yes, but I am imagining that Jean-Claude Van Damme did not do a very good job impersonating Frank Dux because he wasn't
his film Bloodsport. Okay.
Wasn't as good or as strong or as powerful as him. So
there probably wasn't as much good kissing, although you've seen the movie and I haven't, so I don't know. Yes.
So another thing that I think is just my like closing thing from this that I think is just really great is he talks about he references that there is a required 130 days of active duty to be considered like a Marine. And all the records show that he didn't do those 130 days of active service. And I'm guessing
this is in his book.
Yes, he references it in his book that he did not do 130 days of active service. And that's how people will point to him that he was not in. So he's like already kind of meeting the critics ahead. Like he's already answering a question they're going to have, which is like
8 Mile. He's doing
which is like there is no record of you doing these 130 days of service. And to that, he answers using the people in the conference that are meeting him and talking to him. He is using them talking about other, even more secret things he did, as he didn't do the 130 days of the train or like the active duty because it was so secret. It had to be off the books. So using the people he meets at the conference, he answers the critique he's going to get later by people digging into his past and finding out that he didn't actually complete this by being
he did 130 secret days.
He did 130 secret days.
Got it.
So that is his way, and it is. I thought when I read that, I was like, that's brilliant. That's great. Absolutely golden. Just because he knows that people are going to come at him for that.
Sure.
And he knows that like
for his made up bullshit.
Yeah, he knows just well enough that people are going to critique his record, but he's like, oh, I got one in the barrel for you guys. Don't worry.
They call me Pirate.
I did these, but not under my name. I didn't do it under the name Frank Dux because I don't give my name out. Exactly. I did them under other names. So it looks like a bunch of people. Oh, goodness. It looks like a bunch of people did service, but it was actually all me in a combined effort of a lot more than 130 days, but it was all under different names and identities because even when I was at the boot camp, they noticed I was such a big, strong fighting guy that they were like, hey, we're gonna get you for some other shit. Come on. And
that makes sense. I mean, it's airtight.
And that concludes our adventures of Frank Dux for this week. And what'll happen next time? Will we find out what his actual mission is? Will we get any more information on Fish? Will he be sent anywhere to do anything? Or will he just keep getting complimented incessantly by people that are around him? We'll find out next time.
I want to be clear. Yes, I love it. He goes to this conference. Is this after all the Bill Casey shit, or is this like immediately?
This is during.
So he talks to Bill Casey and he's like, "You're my new hot kiss boy spy."
Yes.
And then he's like, "I gotta go to SpyCon," which I can't even
I
unpack
think,
how crazy that is.
I think it exists in the same timeline because I'm gathering from this book there are several timelines because it bops around so much. I'm betting that this exists in the timeline where he is like, I don't think in this timeline he knows who Fish is yet. And/or it's like the one where he went on the date where it was like talking about how he was going to meet up with someone, and then the next chapter was him going on a date where he talked about how he went to seduction school. I think that like him going on the date and then remembering back to seduction school and him going to this conference and remembering back to all the cool shit he did in like Nicaragua, that exists in the same timeline, which I think is separate from the timeline where he's chasing Fish and also separate from the timeline where he's being hired by Bill Casey.
Okay, now is there a chance that a la Primer, he is Fish from the future?
I think I'm thinking either one of two. I'm thinking either one of two things. I'm thinking that either maybe three things. One, obviously, a Will Smith Gemini Man situation.
Of course, that's what I'm
suggesting. I'm thinking that it will be revealed that he was Fish the whole time in the cloning sort of thing because he's so cool that he was cloned to be Fish.
To be a clone.
Or three, that this is a Memento type situation where because it's so disjointed and he's remembering things all over the place that it will be revealed that he, like Fish, is like the suit guy who is his handler, but he is going to kill him because he has convinced himself that Fish is a bad guy.
Now, wait a minute. What if he was chasing Fish in a different earlier and then he meets Suit and actually he orchestrated all of this with Bill Casey? He was spying the spy so that he could get close to Suit and shoot him because he's Fish. And be like, bang, but it's real and it's a gun and it looks really cool. I don't know. We'll find out next time.
All great theories.
It's great. I love it. I did look up time travel movies and a SpongeBob Sponge Out of Water movie came up. That's confusing to me. But this sounds great. I'm excited for the next chapter.
Thank you. Anyway, that's our show. Thank you all so much for joining us. You can find us on Instagram at Get Better Podcast. That's get_better_podcast on Instagram. You can also reach us at meetthefockers2, fockedup@gmail.com. We talked about it early on in the show, but once again, our email is meetthefockers2, fockedup@gmail.com. And I don't have anything else, so see you guys next week.
All right.
See you, bye forever.